Welcome to Empowered and Unstoppable, the show where high-achieving women crush self-doubt, ditch imposter syndrome, and step boldly into their greatness. I'm your host, Megan Bunnell, and together we'll unlock the mindset, strategies, and confidence you need to create unstoppable success on your terms. Let's dive in. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Empowered and Unstoppable. I'm your host, Megan Bunnell, life coach, nervous system nerd for sure, and your favorite bulldog with a heart of gold. And I'm here to make sure that you don't sleepwalk into a whole nother year, through a whole nother year of sacrificing your sanity at everyone else's comfort and not loving the life that you built. So listen, if you're tuning in the day after Christmas, which is when this is coming out, I already know you're my people, right? We're already on the same page because this is the day that we all wake up, well, a little bloated, a little holiday hungover for sure, a little overstimulated, probably by family and friend time, and a lot reflective. And this fuzzy little time warp between Christmas and New Year's is exactly when the brain is most open to change. That's a scientific fact. There have been a lot of studies that have been done that in the neuroscience field that tell us that transitional moments create a natural neuroplasticity. That's important because that's how you can change the wiring in your brain, and that your brain becomes more flexible, more curious, and more willing to write a new story in these transitional moments. And my friends, that is why my talk with you today matters, because we are in one of those moments. Your brain is open to receiving the suggestions, the changes, what it is that you want. Because yes, 2026 can absolutely be better than 2025. But also, my friend, nothing changes unless you do. And I say that with deep love, right? And true deep belief in you. And also with that bulldog honesty that will drag you out of the mental caves that you keep hiding in. So let's talk about it. One of the biggest lies that women carry this time of year is, I failed. I didn't do enough. I didn't reach my goals. I lost my momentum. It started out well. It ended up terrible. I need to fix myself. No, knock it off. No, you don't. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not defective or weak or incapable. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. And you, my friend, are conditioned. And I know this because I've coached hundreds of women, CEOs, moms, teachers, entrepreneurs, leaders, you just all the things. And every single one of them believed that something was wrong with them until they understood their own brain. Your habits aren't moral failures, and your neurons are firing efficiently, I promise. Your avoidance isn't laziness. It's your nervous system protecting you. And your patterns, they're not signs of weakness. They're echoes of what keeps and has kept you in the past safe before you had better tools, which you have now. You don't need to be repaired. You need to be reintroduced to the badass woman that's inside of you and is ready to live the life of being empowered and unstoppable, that woman that is already inside of her. So this is the part of the work that I love the most, watching women truly remember, be reintroduced to their power. And that's what I want to do with you today. So like I said, we're not going to be doing resolutions, okay? We're not going to talk about that. Our goals. Resolutions are truly just socially sanctioned self-criticism, honestly. We today are going to create power pillars, structures that are supporting who you are becoming. And why 4? We're going to make 4 of them specifically. Because the brain loves focus. You need to train it to focus in a way that serves you. Cognitive science, I can't even talk today, my goodness, shows that humans can actively transform one major brain behavioral pattern at a time. But when we try to shift everything, which so often we do this time of year, right? The prefrontal cortex, that's your logical brain, it's right up front, gets overwhelmed and it'll shut down. And maybe that's why you've burned out in the past. Maybe that's why your goals didn't stick. And maybe that's why you started strong and you fizzled by spring, right? How many of us have been there? Do you know the studies have shown that most New Year's resolutions, most New Year goals have been all but abandoned by the third week of January? 3 weeks, people. So we're not going to do that. This is why we're going to do this in a brain-friendly way. We're setting you up for success. One pillar per quarter. So we're going to be looking at the whole year, right? If you mathed that, 4 pillars, 4 quarters. So 4 shifts that stack on each other, 4 transformations that last. So this is the part of the episode where I'm going to lovingly ask you to slow down, maybe grab a notebook, pause it, or be sure to come back to this section later, because this right here, this is the work that's going to be laid out for you, how to make this happen. This is the blueprint for you, right? And this is how 2026 becomes a year that you built, not a year you survived. And who's ready for that? Who is ready to have a year where you're growing, you're building, and you're loving it, not surviving? I know I am. Those years are my favorite. I love them. So these aren't goals. These aren't resolutions. These are power pillars, foundational shifts, if you will, that hold up the life that you're building. All right. You ready? We're going to dive deep here. Pillar 1. This is the one that hurts when you ignore it. And here's the truth. Your nervous system has been trying to get your attention. Okay, so this is that one right here. This is that shift that has been whispering and then nudging and then straight up yelling at you. You already know what it is. Your body already knows what it is. Your emotional patterns already know what it is. And your exhaustion certainly knows what it is. The deal is when you repeatedly ignore your needs, your nervous system goes into this chronic sympathetic activation, the always on stress loop, just constantly looping. And that's why you feel overwhelmed even when nothing's actually happening. That's why one small change or one small hurdle or one small piece of bad news completely causes you to blow up, right? That's why, is because you're heightened. You're in this heightened sense of awareness. It's that sympathetic activation, this stress loop just constantly cycling. So an example of what this pillar might be, right? Things that you want to work on. Saying yes when you want to say no. That's super common. Overworking to earn validation. How many of you have been there? Putting everybody else's needs ahead of your own. Yours are last and or just not taken care of, right? Staying in friendships or relationships that drain you or are toxic. Being on your phone the second you wake up. Oh my goodness, friends, making that shift is a big one in your life. Not making time for your health. Those are examples that you've been feeling in your body, in your core, in your emotions, in your exhaustion. So this pillar is about tending to the wound that you keep walking on. If you don't start here, my friends, everything else crumbles. So I want you to ask yourself, what's one thing I cannot afford to ignore anymore? What is the thing that my body, my emotions, my exhaustion is begging me to resolve? That is your pillar 1, the one that hurts when you ignore it. And here's the deal. I'm giving you an entire quarter because the chances of you actually taking this, whatever it is, and deciding that you're going to change it, it's not going to be successful. Probably. I hope it is for you, but it's probably not going to be successful on try 1. And so you have an entire quarter to try different ways to kick this, whatever it is, habit to the curb and take care of this piece of you that has been screaming for you to stop, for you to change for probably years. That's your pillar 1. That is your first quarter. Okay. All right. Moving on to blueprint for quarter 2. That's going to be pillar 2, the scary one, the one that might just change everything. See, fear is often disguised as intuition. This pillar is not comfortable. It's not cute. It's not cozy, but it's the one where transformation is sitting in a glittery dress, waving both arms. Sparkly, people. What I've learned from coaching women is that the thing they fear the most is almost always the doorway to the life they want. Almost always. So let's get sciencey for just a second. Your brain confuses unfamiliar with unsafe. That's why we're afraid of the unknown, the unfamiliar. But when you pursue something new, different, you have this little almond-shaped piece of your brain in the very center. That's your amygdala. And it fires a danger signal, right? Even if the shift is good, right? That's your fight or flight response. You're like, yeah, okay? That is the same. It's the same even if what you're doing isn't dangerous. Your brain thinks it is because it's new. So examples of this pillar might be leaving a misaligned job. It could be setting a boundary that's going to disappoint someone. It could be starting a side business. It could be asking for support instead of carrying absolutely everything and more. It could be having a really hard conversation. It could be doing something for you, my friend, but without guilt. This pillar right here, this one is the catalyst. It's the one that changes the very foundation of your identity, not just your calendar. And so I want you to ask yourself, what decision or action have you been avoiding because it feels too big, because it feels too scary, because it's just unfamiliar, unknown? What desire keeps coming back even when you try to shut it down over and over again? That's pillar 2, the scary one. But it's also the one that is going to shift so much and lay the foundation for changing everything you want to change. So that goes in quarter 2. Once you've stabilized yourself with pillar 1, remember, one thing at a time. So you're going to do that one thing that is causing you to be exhausted, overwhelmed, on that stress loop nonstop. That's quarter 1. Then quarter 2, you're going to do that scary one. And again, you have a whole quarter to figure it out, to lay the groundwork, to do the research, to take the action so that you get it done, you get it started, you do the thing, whatever it is. Okay? We're halfway through the year. You've changed something big in your life, closed up some leaks, and stopped that stress loop. And you've done something scary, something that's been pulling at your heartstrings, been nagging at you, something you really knew needed to be done, but was so scary. So we're halfway through the year. You've done both. All right, now we're into the second half of the year with pillar 3. This is the capacity pillar. This is the one that frees up time, energy, sanity, right? Along those lines. This is where your life truly stops leaking. Because we've talked about it before. You only have so much energy, right? You only have so much time, so much energy, so many resources. But it really isn't that you don't have enough. It's that you're leaking it, right? It's that you're spending it in the wrong place. It's that you're leaking it in ways you don't even know are there. So this is where pillar 3 comes in. This pillar, it's not sexy, my friends. There's no glitter here, but my God, is it powerful. So I want you to think of your life like a bucket. And most women are constantly trying to add more water, more discipline, more effort, more hustle. Does that sound familiar? Just pouring in, pouring in, pouring in, without realizing that there are 10 holes in the bottom of it. And you're wondering why it's never filling up. This pillar is about patching those holes. Executives and high-achieving women experience this cognitive load fatigue. Can you guys relate to that? Are you in that position where there's too many decisions and there's too many micro stressors, right? And after a while, sometimes not long, sometimes a long time, that leads to burnout. And that burnout happens long before any big problems really do, but you feel it. So examples of these holes in your bucket that you're trying to fill might be fixing your morning routine so that you're not in reaction mode. How many of you wake up and you're instantly on right then and you're just reacting to the world, right? Streamlining your calendar. I have something that I am absolutely in love with, share it with my clients. It's called the Power Hour, and it changes everything about how you approach scheduling. If you want to reach out, I can send that your way for sure. Reducing decision fatigue, redesigning your home environment for ease, right? How many of you have a shelf that's just constantly cluttered, or something that just has no place and it's just always in the way, or something where you have to move this and take this, and it's like these little tiny little frustrations? Those are holes. Those are holes in your bucket, my friends. Creating a weekly reset. Maybe it's reclaiming evening from chaos. Maybe it's delegating instead of martyring. And I know some of you can relate to that. I used to be the best martyr ever. Delegate, my friends. Martyrdom gets you nowhere. Ditching perfectionism. Highly suggest that one if you consider yourself a perfectionist. Yep, ditching that situation. Cleaning up your digital clutter. Not that long ago, I was on vacation and I totally ignored my phone while I was there. It was great. Unless I needed to contact somebody that was there to get in touch with them to figure something out, I totally ignored my phone. And I get back from vacation, I have 5,000 emails. 5,000. That's clutter that, even if it isn't important to you at that very moment in time, your brain knows that it's there. It's stressful, right? So decluttering that is huge. So those are just ideas. Those are miniature holes in this bucket that you're just trying your very hardest to fill up with water, except you keep pouring water in and not paying attention to the fact that it's coming out the bottom. So what hole are you going to fill? This is the pillar where you build sustainability. It's where your life starts to feel lighter, smoother, easier to carry. And the more holes you fill, the lighter it is, the smoother it is, the more you can handle stressful situations, bad news, big projects with grace, right? The easier it is to live this life that you built. And so we're just going to do one for quarter three. I mean, if you get really adventurous and you want to fill some more because you're done before the end of quarter three, have at it. But this is just to get that process started and allow your brain to recognize how amazing it feels to fill those leaking holes. So for this, I want you to ask yourself, what drains me more than it should? What logistical or emotional leak do I really want to close? And give that some thought. What hole could you fill that would make your life just that much better? That's going to be your quarter three pillar, the one that is going to support everything else. And I promise you, friends, once you recognize that filling these holes makes life so much better, you kind of get addicted to it. And you want to figure out where all of those holes are and fill them in, because it's amazing. You're listening to another episode of Empowered and Unstoppable. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors. Are you ready to take your success to the next level? Visit www.meganbunnellcoaching.com. All right, then we're going to wrap up the year in quarter four with pillar number 4, which is the joy pillar. So this is your dopamine anchor, because transformation truly doesn't last without pleasure. That's what our brain is wired to seek, is pleasure, which is dopamine in your brain. So this might be the most important pillar of it all, and the one that women dismiss the fastest. But listen to me closely. Your brain will not sustain change without joy. Dopamine is not a reward. It is a fuel source. It's what makes new habits stick. It's what turns discipline into desire. I have coached so many women, and every single one of them has lost momentum because they lost joy first. Joy is clarity. Joy is power. And joy is aliveness. And what a fun time to do that the last quarter of the year, when we have October, November, December, busy holiday months, lots of joy. We need to focus on where your dopamine is going to sustainably come from. So example, you could create a hobby that you stopped making time for. right? So what's creative that you love that you just don't do anymore? Is it painting? Is it drawing? Is it writing? Is it journaling? Nature walks. Those are amazing for you. Dancing in your kitchen. Does anybody else have like a little miniature strobe light that they have in their kitchen and they have like disco parties with their kids? Just me? Okay. I love it. I love it. As soon as it's dark outside, we plug that in. There's like, lights going all over the kitchen. We turn on our music and we just have a dance party. It's so fun. Reading. Some people absolutely love getting into a good book. Learning something new. Travel, connection, laughter, romance. All of these are dopamine sources. How about rest that actually restores you, which is not sitting and watching the TV? Just saying. Or scrolling for that matter. What about spiritual practice? What about rediscovering something you loved before life got loud? This is where you remember, whatever you choose, who you are beyond the noise. And so it's going to be something that isn't artificial. It's not going to be scrolling on social media. It's not going to be a new TV show. It's going to be something that you can sustain, that fills you up, that gives you those natural dopamine hits so that you can get that fuel source and experience joy. So I want you to ask yourself, what brings me alive that I've stopped prioritizing? What joy did I abandon that I want to reclaim in 2026? I actually just found mine. I wrote this for y'all a little while ago, really crafting what I wanted to say. And I was thinking about what joy pillar I would work on. And then I went to a Christmas party for my husband's company, and I didn't even realize this existed, but not that far from my house, there's a surf club. We live kind of far from the ocean, and then plus when you park and you walk and like all the things, it's quite a trip for me to go surfing, and I miss it so much. And we have a surf club not that far away. Easy peasy, easy parking, easy setup. Waves are literally always there. And I thought that's going to be my joy pillar in Q4, and I can't wait. So excited. So whatever you pick, that's going to be your Q4 pillar, the celebration of your transformation. So there's 4 pillars. The pain pillar that you're going to fix, the fear pillar that you're going to crush, the capacity filler, you're going to fill those holes, and the joy. They are not tasks. They are identity shifts. They are nervous system recalibrations, the pathways back to you, my friend. And if you take only one thing away from this episode, please let it be this. A life that you love is not, never will be, built from intensity. It's built from intentionality. And that shift must come from you. No one else can make that shift for you. And how do you shift that? It's a journey, right? For literally the rest of your life. We're always growing. We're always getting better. We're always working towards another version of ourselves. But you do that. That journey is one pillar at a time, one quarter at a time, one brave, loving decision at a time. Because, my friend, you deserve a life that feels like you. You deserve to come alive. You deserve to love the woman you are and that you're becoming. And hey, I'm right here, cheering, believing, guiding, bulldogging, whatever it is that you need every step of the way. I am here for you. And here's something that I really need you to recognize. You can't outgrow the version of you that you refuse to invest in. I'm going to say that again. You can't outgrow the version of you that you refuse to invest in. This planning, the pillars, they sound fine and dandy, right? You might even get real into it and color code some sort of planner or journal ready to rock this out. But I want to be real with you right now. Nothing is going to change if you don't. And that requires investment. This work isn't going to get done if you don't do it. And my friend, it's the time that you need to invest in yourself. And I mean, really invest in yourself. The one thing in your life that affects everything else is you. You need to invest in that, just like you invest in everything else. You need to invest with your time. You need to invest with your money. You need to invest with your belief. You need to invest with your actions and with your heart. And let me drop a hard truth wrapped in kind of a soft blanket for you. You spend money on everyone but you. Your kids, your partner, your house, your Amazon cart, your emotional support Starbucks, your Target aisle wanderings. You even spend money on the woman that you refuse to invest in just to placate her, to make her seem like life is good. You invest in distractions. You invest in rewards, but you don't invest in development, in growth, in love and understanding of this woman who wants to be more different, excited, happy. Do you know how many women I've coached who had no problem financing gymnastics classes but felt guilty hiring a therapist or a coach? It's mind-blowing. And it's all of them. It's you. But here's what I've learned after coaching every single one of them. Your life cannot outgrow the version of you running it. I'll say that again. Your life cannot outgrow the version of you running it. So if you don't invest in your growth, your life can't expand. And if you don't invest in your clarity, your decisions can't improve. And if you don't invest in your healing, your relationships can't deepen. If you don't invest in your nervous system, upgrading your brain, your peace can't stabilize. It's not indulgent to invest in yourself. It's strategic. It's necessary. It's the foundation of every result that you want. And I'm just going to cut out some of your lies right now. You're not too busy, and you're not too stressed, and you're not ready. You are simply undersupported by the one person you need support from. And that's you. And my friend, I want so badly for you for that to change today. Let me tell you a quick story about the time that I learned to stop abandoning myself. It was the end of the year, and I was fried, overwhelmed, doing everything for everyone else like I always did. And the only thing I had done for myself was probably refill my coffee 47 times or had like 9 Red Bulls. I don't know. And I remember standing in the kitchen, staring at a pile of dishes, probably a massive pile of dishes, and thinking, I don't want next year to feel like this. And it wasn't because I hated my life, not at all. It was because I finally realized I wanted to feel alive in it. I didn't hate my life, but I didn't love it either. And I wanted to love it. So I did something radical. I picked one thing, one simple thing that I was going to commit to, and I was going to figure it out. I was going to figure out how to make that work and sustainable. One pillar, one shift. And I stopped waiting for permission because I always was asking for permission from everyone else. I stopped waiting for energy. I went and found a way to have more. I stopped waiting for the perfect moment because, by the way, they're never there. And I invested in myself. I hired support. I made decisions based on who I wanted to become, not who I had been. And that year, literally everything changed, and quickly, might I add. It took a year, right? I invested in myself for a year. And I would say I noticed the difference within weeks. And it just kept getting better. And it wasn't magic. And it wasn't instant. It was steady. It was powerful. And it was undeniably changing from the inside. And then again, kind of quickly noticed very clearly from the outside. I've watched that same thing happen with my clients again and again and again. And it all starts with one pillar to start the avalanche of that becoming. becoming that woman that loves the life she built, becoming that woman that is not living with a stress loop that is on repeat, to becoming the woman who has fully put her into her life and everybody else in her life is better for it. And I've seen it happen again and again and again. So here's my challenge for you. And I'm being your loving bulldog right now. Here's where I get loud because I love you. I love you and I believe in you. Do not walk into 2026 as the understudy in your own life. Stop waiting for circumstances to calm down. They're not going to. Stop waiting for motivation. You need to make it. Stop waiting for permission. You're the only one that needs to give it. And stop waiting until you feel ready because you're not going to be. You don't need readiness. You need willingness. So here's your challenge. I want you to pick your first power pillar, not a resolution, not a goal, a pillar, because you're going to stand on that. One thing that you will build your 2026 on. And I want you to message it to me. I want you to get it out into the world. You can do that on Instagram at meganbunnell.lifecoaching. You can do that through email, megan@meganbunnellcoaching.com. You can find me, connect me to my website or through Facebook at Megan Bunnell. Tell me your pillar. Put it out in the universe so that it is out there. Somebody knows it, somebody hears it, and somebody's going to check on you. And my friend, that somebody is me. I'll cheer you on. I'll support you. I'll remember how important it was for you to build this pillar and help you continue to build it. And if you want deeper help building all 4 of those pillars with actual structure, accountability, clear guidance, and neurosystem science, because you know that it's all involved up in there, that makes this all last, you know where to find me. And listen, I believe in you so deeply. I see your strength. I see your potential, and I know without a single shred of doubt that you are capable of creating a life that feels like a yes in your bones. I know what it feels like, and I want you to feel that. I want you to have that, and the only person that can do that for you is you. So this is your moment. This is your shift. This is your year. This is the time to invest in you and change everything as far as the way you love life, experience life, influence those around you, offer to the world the gifts that you have without burning out. This is the time for you to truly find, love, and build on you. And I'm ready for you. I'm here to do it with you. My friend, if this episode landed for you, share it with a friend, leave a review, or DM me your first pillar, please. DM me, email me, just reach out, get it to me so that I can support you. I'm here with you. I'm cheering for you. I'm in your corner every step of the way. So until next week, which is the new year, so it's that time, stay empowered, stay unstoppable, and for the love of peace and sanity, start to hustle less and sparkle more. I'll see you next year. Thanks for tuning in to Empowered and Unstoppable. If today's episode spoke to you, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who needs a boost of empowerment. Are you ready to take your success to the next level? Visit www.meganbunnellcoaching.com. Remember, you're not just capable, you're unstoppable. See you next time.